one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best? 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 What's the second best?
This is Discover Crypto. Thank you for joining. Everybody smash that like button as you come on in. We have some huge news regarding Donald Trump and his plans for Bitcoin and what it might mean. Also, insane activity out of Russia, and it has major implications for the cryptocurrency markets. I'm here with Josh and TJ. How are you two folks doing today?
Doing great.
Doing good. Feeling even better today. Not as nauseous. So I'm excited to be back in the markets, and they're a little bit green. So it looks like they're even feeling a little bit better.
All right, and I turned into a ghost all of a sudden, everybody, but don't worry, I'm still lurking in the background. All right, so we put out a Chainlink video last night, folks, and if we look at the biggest gainers, Chainlink, oh my God, it fell away. Chainlink was a top 10 gainer, I swear to God, everybody, it was, but it looks like Chainlink's now pulled back a little bit. Let's go to the market caps here. Bitcoin up 0.4%, Ethereum up 1.5%, XRP, huge pump. We try to tell you about these SEC rumors. We got even more rumors from different correspondents out there about what the next steps for XRP with the SEC might be, and we keep scrolling here. You can see Cardano with a little bit of a red candle here, but Stellar also getting huge gains off of this news. And then Chainlink, I guess it must have had a nice pump about 24 hours ago. Oh yeah, erasing away a lot of the gains. We had a very wait, let me hit the 24 hour there. Yeah, hitting the 7-day. Okay, so Chainlink started the week a little bit higher, but you can see here for the past 36 hours or so, Chainlink on the come up there. We did do a Chainlink video last night, and we are in a Chainlink trade. I brought this up. I'm going to close more of this trade. We've closed, the majority of this, deep in profit. I didn't show the trade in the video, but I opened it during the video, and we're going to go ahead and close another 50% here. Just nice. Go ahead and lock it in those profits. I should honestly just probably close the whole thing, but oh, I love that noise right there. Josh, what are you seeing in the markets right now?
SPX starting off the day strong here today. So we got some really good inflation readings we're going to cover here today later in this episode that kind of cover how consumer sentiments very oversold. So I think you making that link call yesterday may have been a perfect trade. I mean, it's been just up to, what did you get in at? Like $12.50, or did you get in before that?
We got in
wick to the upside?
$12.78
Yes,
was literally when I was filming the video, guys, and you can see those huge pumps right there.
This was DZ's buy order.
Yeah, there you go.
That was the buy order there. No, yeah. So that was it was a good entry point here, but yeah, a lot of good positive signs to see to wrap up Friday this week with the markets here.
All right, and looking at the rest of the markets here, we do have hype with a huge pump. Okay, I just had to hit refresh. That's all it was. Yeah, we hit refresh. You can see Chainlink, one of the top gainers here, apparently an 8.1% pump. So we're feeling good about releasing that Chainlink video for you folks last night. You got to have on those notifications. We try to bring you the alpha, but if you don't have on those notifications, you're going to miss out on a lot of the moves that we're trying to share so we can all get rich together, folks. Looking at the other gainers, Say, Injective, OKB, and Sonic, all the little pumps here, and Bonk. I haven't thought about bonking forever. We look at the biggest losers, Pi. Also a call for the channel. We've been trying to say, maybe this shouldn't have a higher market cap than Chainlink. You can see Pi is ranked number 13, Chainlink ranked number 14. To me, that's damn near blasphemy. I don't know what you folks think. I know a lot of people in the chat love Pi, but in my opinion, Pi should definitely be lower than Chainlink.
Yeah, it's just... there's still nobody out there that can tell me anything good behind it other than community, which means you just have an army, a community of miners that are just actively selling against that price action. So I'm just, as I was in 2021, still entirely skeptical. But I mean, it's not looking good for $1.40 here.
The one thing it does have going for it. What's today?
Oh, March 14th.
Today's Pi Day.
Okay, that's
yeah,
and it's not pumping. It's not pumping. So
exactly.
the 1 day it has
not a reason to buy. This one, I've seen this come and go. It gets back into the hype cycle, or like gets back into the news cycle. It feels like every couple of years. This has been around forever. Every time I hear, oh, this is something good happening, and then it's like nobody can get their funds. I don't know. This one's never been interesting to me. I would, I stay away from it. You guys can do whatever you want, but it's not the one for me.
Yeah, I just also don't know about how like mining from the phone. Like, so like if I'm not doing that with my new phone, so if you have like an old phone, then you can, then it might make sense. So I'm not going to go pay for a $1,600 phone to mine Pi.
When I think of Pi, I think of this picture right here. There's only really one way this is going to end up, folks. You're going to end up effed. All right. You're just going to end up effed.
Let's Mark Cuban?
That's You've never seen American Pie? Come on.
I know what that is.
Okay,
I know what that is.
Okay. So have you seen Fight Club yet?
Don't tell me that doesn't look like. No, I have not seen Fight Club yet, but I've seen American Pie. But that looks like a young little chubby Mark Cuban.
It's Jason Biggs is his name, Jason Biggs. So he was in a few movies. He was in a few good ones there. All right, let's look at the Bitcoin price chart here. You can see we are on the hourly candles here, and we're having a huge pump. But look at that. We were talking about the 200-day EMA. This is the 200 on the 1 hour. And that's exactly where Bitcoin ended up rejecting off of this 200 on the 1 hour. But we still have some other levels that we're going to be looking at. We did call almost perfectly that we're seeing the bear divs. Who was here in the stream? We're predicting a little bit of a return down to, and it's almost like I should have been trading Bitcoin, folks. I said, hey, we need to come back down. We're probably going to retest some of this relative strength index on the low side and almost perfectly hit that nice little bounce here. Don't mind taking some profits off of some trades because we are hitting some little bit of some local resistance as we speak. But we have some major news for Bitcoin. I don't know if you saw this, Josh, TJ, but Trump crypto council chief told industry leaders that the U.S. wants to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. There is no limit to the size of the Bitcoin strategic reserve. In fact, even Master P was inside that. And if you're in the chat, I want to see you type, but I'm very, very excited. We're going to talk about the details of this, but as much as possible, they want to get as much Bitcoin as possible. Could we be seeing a number past the 1 million that we've been seeing floating around by Cynthia Lummis and others?
I mean, I think you could see. I don't think we see that for decades. If we see that quicker than decades, I mean, we'll be very happy individuals. But I'm not going to play that opium card. But it's because it's not even like there's also the reports coming out that like Russia is using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins for oil trade with China and India to bypass sanctions. So at the same time, you have three massive GDPs all looking to accumulate it, and how much we're going to. I think that's going to take. It's an argument to be made unless they can figure out how to get the treasury to add to the allocation. It's going to be up to Congress here. And I think it's just going to take so much time to get that approved. But I would hope to see the 200,000 mark. That is Cynthia Lummis' number. She wants 200,000 Bitcoin per year until we accumulate 1 million Bitcoin. That's pushing us well into the multi 6-figure range.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's look at or go ahead, TJ.
Well, no, I was just going to chime in. It's the game theories actually really kicking in now, like the nation state game theory. That's what David Bailey was talking about just recently. And I think the actual quote was, or something, it was coming out of Bo Hines. And he basically said, it's something like, well, how, like when they asked him, how much do you want? Yeah. And he's like, how many dollars do you want? And it's like, I think there's not going to be a cap on this stuff. And it's going to be might take decades, but I do think we're going to see nation states accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. Have they stopped accumulating gold? No, they've been accumulating gold for decades. I think this is going to fit right into that category. And also good news on gold too. I'm sure we'll touch on that.
And I love Peter Schiff right now. He's like gold is the apex predator of Bitcoin.
He's trying.
And then I was like, in my head, I'm like, gold's been around for like thousands of years, and Bitcoin's been here for 10 years, and you're worried that it's about to dethrone it. I mean, he can't even
make up his own slogans. He stole that from Michael Saylor.
Did he sell it?
Well, yeah. I mean, Michael Saylor was saying Bitcoin's the apex predator
of gold,
of assets. So
Michael.
It's like a 50-year-old Muhammad Ali looking at an 8-year-old Mike Tyson, like. That guy could never beat me. Like, no, you're getting older and slower, and this one's just getting better and better, folks. Mm-hmm. But we do have the details of this meeting. Trump admin wants to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible, according to the White House. In fact, there's no limit to the size of a U.S. government strategic Bitcoin reserve. At a closed-door roundtable hosted by Bo Hines, the executive director of the Presidential Working Group on Digital Assets, they told participants the White House is intent on acquiring as much Bitcoin as it can, according to multiple attendees. When asked by someone in the room exactly how much Bitcoin the U.S. might ultimately acquire, Hines joked that the question is akin to asking someone, well, how many dollars they want, a roundtable told Decrypt here. And he also added, in a budget-neutral way, this won't cost taxpayers a dime. So not spending, purchases, but more budget neutral ways. Here are some of the people that are there. We kind of covered this in the past. Michael Saylor, Fred Thiel from the America's largest Bitcoin miner, Anchorage CEO, Bitcoin Magazine CEO, and some senators. A participant asked Bo Hines whether the White House supports the Bitcoin Act. This is Cynthia Lummis's plan that would require they buy up to 1 million Bitcoin, with Josh's reference to the 200K a year. It's worth about 80 billion. So they asked this White House director of the Crypto Council, do you agree with Cynthia Lummis's plan? And Hines turned to Lummis, whom he sat next to, and said the White House plans to support legislation that puts a strategic Bitcoin reserve into law. Now, they haven't endorsed any specific legislation, but seeing the moves on the ground, reading between the lines, they are definitely favorable, and they're leaning towards getting this enacted. Very, very, very bullish for crypto. No one is talking about what might happen if we do see the 200K, let alone exceeding the 1 million. I think just the speculation of it could be the fuel that maybe gives us a 200K Bitcoin this cycle. I know a lot of people have kind of walked back their price predictions, but I still think there is a world, there is a scenario where we see a 240, 280, 200K Bitcoin. I know, Josh, it sounds crazy, but it can happen.
I like it. I haven't changed my predictions one bit. I'm still on that 200K number. Again, I've got 20K buffer either side. I can see 220. But yeah, I'm loving when I hear people talking 240, 280. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, we have this other bill. We have Representative Byron Donalds trying to introduce a bill codifying Trump's Bitcoin reserve. So this is happening in the House. He signed the EO on the 7th to use Bitcoin seized in criminal cases to establish the reserve. It was introduced by Byron Donalds, this legislation, to ensure that it becomes a permanent fixture that will prevent the future administrations from dismantling it through executive actions. But there's a little bit of a catch here. It's going to require at least 60 votes in the Senate and a House majority to pass. Republicans do hold the Senate majority and the House majority, but this is going to be a little bit difficult, I feel, to get the 60 votes in the Senate. But if this does happen, very, very bullish. This one I'm not as keen on happening as much as Cynthia Lummis Act passing, but this would be very bullish as well. 60 votes, though. But I just like the idea no future administration could dump that Bitcoin without an act of Congress. And if we see Bitcoin just climb and climb and climb, I think people are going to say, well, no, why would we sell digital gold? That might give us a forever vault of Bitcoin. And I say forever loosely, no one knows what happens 50 years from now, 100 years from now, but a very, very strong use case for just more Bitcoin lost into the ether, just like the millions that are lost forever, just making Bitcoin more and more bullish. Speaking of bullish, we did point out the 4-hour bullish div yesterday. Kayla Franzen says it has now rolled into the 12-hour candles. This is the first bullish RSI on the 12-hour since September 2023, not 24, not the August 24 crash there, September 2023. You can see it right here. We got the lower lows on the price, the higher lows on the RSI there. And if we go to 23, you're looking, last time we saw it, right around this area. Look at the next stages for Bitcoin. So this is what it was like last time we saw these type of indicators. We just look, just real quickly, 178 days, we rose, 84%. If we zoom out a little bit more, you can see the pump continued 180% pump for Bitcoin. Let's just run it. I'm not saying it's going to pump 180%, but let's just see. For what's in giggles, we go off the screen, folks. We're going off the screen. That's how crazy this is. 180% from around about right here. You're looking at $212,000 Bitcoin, over 200K.
Wow.
So it is possible. I would say, not guaranteed, maybe not even that likely, but it's certainly possible. I would say double-digit percentages here.
I like
don't know where you guys are landing.
No, I think I agree 100%. You guys know I'm a macro first, fundamental second, and TA for confirmation kind of guy. Like technical analysis is interesting to me, but I don't make as many decisions based on it. If you do, more power to you. A lot of people do really, really well with that, but I really love it when I see technical analysis like that just confirms and lines up with what I'm seeing on the macro level. Just wanted to hit the comments a little bit. We've got a few different people here. Solana is mooning right now. I bought in at 126. So happy. I don't know if we want to look at that. Somebody else asked about, is there news on Chainlink? Why is that pumping? And I don't know, Aaron. Are you losing me on the screen? Can you guys see me? Because I'm blacking out on this side. Is my camera on? You see me?
You look chill, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But on my side, it keeps
You're a
cutting
little
out.
blurry,
So.
but
No, that's fine. It's probably just my computer. So, you guys looking at Solana or Chainlink? I know you just covered that video last night that had news on Chainlink, right, TZ?
Yeah. So go turn on notifications so you don't miss our uploads. We do come live to you 5-6 days a week, sometimes 7, but we also give you uploads about 6-7 days a week. So if you're only watching the lives, you're missing out on the uploads. If you're only watching the uploads, you're missing out on the lives. You got to watch both, folks. We're trying to give you all the data.
You got member stream today. Right after this, if you guys aren't one of our members, hit that join button to be one of our members, because DZ's gonna have some sick alpha right after the show.
I'm gonna share one of my 50 secrets of the rich. It applies very, very seldomly. This is an opportunity that only happens a few times in one's life. It is happening right now. We're going to talk about that. It's related to crypto and stocks. Very, very good info that I'm going to share with you. It's going to be a little sneak peek from the book there. Looking forward at Eric Balchunas' post here. This is James Seifert chart. These are the Bloomberg bros when it comes to crypto ETFs. This is a chart of the Bitcoin ETF inflows, which are down to 35 bill from 40 bill. But based off the assets under management, that means more than 95% of invested cash has held strong despite the 25% decline. The boomers, aka Wall Street, is showing y'all how it's done. And then he ducks out of the room. I guess he's afraid of the hot take right there. But Wall Street is holding steady. We're seeing some massive outflows here and there. But when they have 115 billion of assets under management, maybe you don't get spooked by 7 billion leaving in a 2.9 billion leaving in a day. 95% of the invested cash is held strong. So very diamond hands when you're looking at Wall Street here. And what does Wall Street, TJ, Josh, what does Wall Street and BlackRock want you to do with their Bitcoin or with your Bitcoin?
Sell it to them.
Exactly, folks. So are you gonna?
I'm not. No, I'm buying it all. I'm not. You know, that's the rule in Bitcoin, right? Is never sell your Bitcoin. It's easier said than done, especially when it pumps a lot. But I've learned my lesson. I've had a lot of Bitcoin come and go through my hands over the years, and I wish I never had let go of any of it, because it's a lot more valuable today than it was 4 or 5 years ago, or even 6 or 7 or 8 years ago.
I actually think they want you to buy it. I'm going to play the counter to that now. I think we passed we were at the levels of they wanted to just sell it, but now they're advertising out their front page. They want to hold it for you. They want to custody it for you. They want to have control over your spot trades and everything, so they could take over all that volume and make money off all the governance fees. Which makes me even more bullish, because it's like now they have an incentive not only to pursue, positive legislation and lobbying within the U.S., but also kind of stand at the forefront of the Bitcoin innovation now. And again, I know people don't like that, but this is where I think this cycle shifted. Is like we're now in Wall Street 2.0. This is fractional banking 2.0. The institutions are here. The bankers are here. And unfortunately, you can't get rid of them. That is the underlying ethos of a decentralized network, is anybody can participate in it. And so when somebody has more capital, they can come in and take more control. But BlackRock, Larry Fink specifically, after years of calling it rat poison, that's when he wanted you to sell. He's like, this is rat poison, get out, because they wanted a cheaper entry point. But now it's like the cat's out of the bag. The race has started. It's now like, how do we start onboarding as much users as possible? As it's just going to make them big. Like if Bitcoin goes to now a 10, $15 trillion market cap at the time span in the next 10, 15 years, it's just going to help make the case study that, or make the case for BlackRock to continue to be the largest asset management company in the world. And that's that's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
It is crazy. Also looking crazy. Someone in the chat said Bitcoin dominance is falling off a cliff on the 1 hour chart.
Is it?
Looks like it's maybe trying to recover a little bit here, but you're definitely seeing a lot of weakness. And you can see some bear divs that were forming, showing you that there's a little bit of a local top 4 Bitcoin dominance. I know I love talking about the bear divs and the bull divs, but they just keep playing out so well lately in this market. And that was kind of a little bit of a sign to maybe divest a little bit from Bitcoin and invest a little bit more heavily into alts, especially around that area.
What
right
is
there.
Zoom out on that. I've heard, is it at an all-time high, the dominance, or close to it?
It's
not all time. Well, this cycle. So we did have that spike with the giant liquidation events. That was around February 27th, maybe something like that. But if we zoom out, you can see, obviously Bitcoin started. It's the only name in town. It started 99%, but last cycle we're still below those levels. Don't think we'll hit those levels, but we're right around that peak area. That's
Which
a
is
very,
what,
very important
60,
level.
65? What?
Yeah. About
Well,
61, 62 here.
Yeah.
I would say something to pay attention to here is the SPX, which I know a couple people earlier in the show were talking about this gap here. Guys, this gap's on a smaller time frame, and gaps on smaller time frames don't fill up nearly as much. If you go to the daily time frame, there is no gap on it. The daily gaps are the ones that are likely to fill, 80, 90% of the time. When you go down to the 4 hour, then it's like 50% of the time. Then you go down to the 1 hour, it's like now the percentages keep going higher and higher in here. But on the daily here, then actually let's go back to the hour or even the 4 hour. Starting to test some resistance here. So the 4 hour, we do have the gap below us, but again, it's a smaller gap. You have a gap above us here. I believe there's a gap on the daily up here if we were to, actually pinpoint that here if I switch over in just a second. But the SPX is trying to break to the upside here. So this could be that boost here. What I want to remind everybody is not that necessarily means a complete utter reversal, but when you look at the Bitcoin futures chart, I am going back to this and I am never veering off of it. You hear me, guys? I'm never veering off of this because this would have let us sell the top if I did not decide to change over late in November. But I mean, at the same time, Bitcoin was well over 100K. So it was very hard to. Your gap is all the way up towards now $87,325 for Bitcoin. So if we get that uptick in the SPX, you can only imagine that Bitcoin's going to continue to follow it. And we're turning that 200-day moving average here into some pretty decent support. And that futures gap that was down here has completely been filled. And so these Bitcoin futures, at least, and I would have to do the case study on this, but it seems to me that these Bitcoin futures are even much more likely to fill than the SPX here. And it's just a very strong indication of where that price action is going to be going. So with Bitcoin being under the 200-day moving average here, we are coming up to see the 20-day move, or actually almost touch it at this. Let me grab my brush here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This could end up just being that bounce here in the coming days, if not early next week, if the SPX does break out and get a decent push back up to the retest of this 200-day moving average. So that is something interesting to say there. And that was the 4 hour 200 I was looking at a second ago. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on this the rest of the stream here. But this is happening in real time.
Yeah, that looks good. I got a question for both of you guys coming from the chat. There's a lot of people talking about Ethereum in there, having concerns about the future of Ethereum. I know we did a video on it recently, but the question here, will ETH survive and have a bright future? ETH has really disappointed me recently. Do you guys have any thoughts on ETH at this point? Obviously, still trading under $2,000, $1,900. Not much different than where it was a few years ago, 50% plus off of all-time high, the previous all-time high 2021. Will it return? Do you guys have concerns about ETH? What do you think?
It is going to come back, and I have two reasons, but I got to tell you later in the stream.
All right. Oh, you were prepared for that question.
He's prepared for it. I know they're in the Trello rundown, but
gotcha.
Yeah, I think you just got to be patient, guys. I would, veer off of. I know that somehow I come off as a bear, even though I'm just conservative in my price predictions. It's crazy. I'm not somebody that's standing on the $10,000 ETH hill. I refuse to. I think the market share of the industry is growing bigger and bigger, and Ethereum is not a commodity in comparison to Bitcoin. So it's still early in terms of the classifications there. It does have the ETF. There are some strengths to it. But Vitalik, and I'm hoping that's what you're going to be playing here, did play a clip talking about the L1s and the advancements they're going to be looking to help fix the ETH network here coming up. But in terms of price action, I do think it will see all-time highs in a cycle, but I just wouldn't be betting on that $10,000 price point or $20,000 price point people like to label it on. I think Bitcoin's going to remain a lot higher. And again, Ethereum and the rest of the altcoin industry are slowly breaking away. It's going to become its own mature asset class. And so whether or not Ethereum becomes and trades as a commodity in the future, it for sure as hell doesn't yet. And I'm going to kind of keep by that until that day starts to switch. And that for me, looks at a new all-time high. I don't even know if that's 7,500 now. It might be in the 6,000s, but we'll see. We'll see. It depends on if they can really turn around this network.
But yeah, okay.
You just want 2,400. I don't even blame you at this point.
Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say. It's good that I'm interested that you're saying 6K. So that's still a 3x from here. I'll be honest. I'm a big. This is I'm a big holder of ETH, been holding it a long time. Very committed to DeFi and Base and a lot of the new things that are coming out. But this is a question I wrestle with a lot. I go back and forth with a lot. And oftentimes, this is just my own knowing myself. Oftentimes, when I start to feel these capitulation feelings, these emotions of will it return? Generally speaking, that's a pretty good bottom for me. Just my knowing myself in the past. So I'm not willing to give up on it yet. I do think we'll make new all-time highs. I am probably in line somewhere with what you were saying, Josh. I think probably over 6, under 10, maybe that 8-9K range. But I do not think this is a whole forever hold. I mean, at one point I had said Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I need to see significant upgrades and changes to the things to make me want to hold Ethereum forever. I saw somebody in the comments say this is like a Netscape. My biggest fear, and the question I ask myself all the time is Ethereum the MySpace, the AOL, the Nets, some of these like really, really early, definitely a key thing to get us where we need to go, but just slowly fades over time. The Yahoo, I don't have a solid answer to that question. I'm not willing to give up on it yet. But man, there's a lot of other things that are a lot more interesting to me than that.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't come off as a Google,
no,
these days.
It doesn't.
That's for sure.
It doesn't.
It's revenues dropping. Yeah, there's a lot that's falling. And then you really start looking back at it. Look at all the other L2s. Like most of these other L2s or L1s that were created are ex-founders of Ethereum. So it's like, is there a pattern that's taking place here? And I don't want to FUD ETH at all just yet, because again, you still got to look at, like, I'm watching the tokenization market, and Ethereum's still a mass majority of the dApp applications that are being built. Like almost everything is being built on top of Ethereum still today. But there's strong indications that that's changing quickly. For example, through the Base ecosystem, even through technically Solana, and a lot of these other L1s. So just something to pay attention to as you guys run into this run or this bull run. I think people that have the estimations of like $20,000 Ethereum really have no market presence and understanding that there is other L1s and L2s providing that same service. And if they have, more VC funding or more accessibility to users, it can help scale those networks, especially if they're producing more revenue. So as this market just gets more competitive, we just need to watch for that. And Bitcoin is breaking out right now, about to break through 84K. So we're about to see 84K again here.
Nice.
Some nice green candlesticks today, guys.
Getting some nice pumps. Is a $500 Solana realistic? Yes. In fact, probably tonight going to release a Solana video for you. There's something in the charts that is a textbook trading move, a textbook trading entry point, and I got to put it on your radar because Solana is looking bullish.
Let's ask chat here. Let's ask chat. What's your Ethereum price? Because obviously all this is speculation and it's all based off just researched assumptions. But what's your guys' Ethereum price prediction? I think we all have a pretty valid take here. It's when I go to CoinMarketCap, like, and DZ, I know you see this all the time too. What I don't like seeing, and this sounds crazy, but I don't like seeing the 12.66 million cryptos now at the top left of CoinMarketCap. You guys remember when this was like 100 plus cryptos? Like I read through every white paper almost on the entire crypto market in 2020. Like you were able to do that. Today, God, no. I don't even know where you would
today. 98% of tokens coming out don't even have a white paper.
True,
things have changed.
That should have been a red flag when they went from white paper to light paper to PDF slide.
Yeah. Yeah, to a graphic roadmap with no words on it, but like a guy's dipping in a hot tub and he's like a logo. Like, what does that even mean?
Bullish.
I don't even know. It's bullish. It's bullish.
He's willing to boil himself live.
Link easily going to 150 next 1.52 years. Yeah, feeling very bullish on Chainlink. If you watch last night's video, I go over 4 things in the chart and 1/5 reason that has nothing to do with the charts why I'm super bullish on Chainlink. And if you haven't watched that video, go watch that. I really do a lot of breaking down in the charts there. But Solana coming out tonight, so make sure you have on those notifications. Now, we do have a little bit of breaking news. I don't want to say breaking, but Saylor with a Hopium, he's smoking crack prediction here, folks. This is one of his crazier predictions. Saylor says Bitcoin is about to become the largest asset in the world in the next 48 months. What the hell does he know? Well, let's go to the assets ranked by market cap here. Milestone for gold. Now, number one, we do know is the $3,000 ounce there, so very bullish for gold. But look at that, $20 trillion market cap, and Bitcoin only at a 1.6. So a little bit unrealistic to assume Bitcoin could do what's this, a little 7.5x roughly there.
Well,
It's very, very unlikely, while gold remains flat. So I just don't see a world where Bitcoin 7x's. That means the money's failing essentially, but gold is stuck at 3K an ounce. No, you're looking at a 5K an ounce gold there at that point. And then at that point, you're looking at, beyond 30 trillion. So it's going to be very difficult for Bitcoin to hit gold this cycle.
Well,
he's next cycle, but I think it happens eventually.
Yeah, he said 48
he
months.
Said 48. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another 4 years. I don't know. I think it could 7x over the next 4 years. That's not outside, we're talking BlackRock said 700K. I mean, that's still not $1 million Bitcoin. And I think
but gold is 5K is my point.
I'll give you that point. I'll give you that. I don't think gold remains stagnant this whole time, but looking at that is very interesting. Obviously, what's up? Gold, Bitcoin, and Berkshire Hathaway. That's about it. And that's pretty interesting to look at. And you look at the trajectory, silver's up there too.
Look at silver, yeah.
That's interesting. So
that's a 30-day price chart we're looking at here.
Very, very interesting. I think Bitcoin, we're going to see insane numbers on Bitcoin. I think people are going to be shocked. I do think gold's going to continue to climb. Obviously, it is a great asset or commodity to have. But I got a question here for you from Chris Fox, $1.99 super chat. $1,000 hits your bank account today. You have to put it in one coin and one coin only, the entire $1,000. Based on today's prices, you're choosing between Ondo, XRP, ADA, Plume, and Bitcoin. Go.
You can't put Bitcoin in that. That's not fair.
That's what this guy's trying to decide between. What do you do?
Fair. 50-50 Bitcoin Ondo.
No, you got to pick one coin.
No. I live
like
in a
Cardano.
free world, damn it.
I love 70-cent Cardano.
See, we're not gonna help him at all. I'm gonna pick Plume. So good luck, buddy.
Good luck. I'll say this. We don't know your portfolio. If it were me with today's portfolio, I'm just going to buy some Bitcoin. But I have some Ondo, I have some ADA, a little bit of XRP, a little bit of Plume as well. All right. This is huge news. This is breaking news from Miami. You're seeing 3 boomers. Who the hell are these guys? CEOs of Shopify and GameStop in Miami today. They're saying, you know what that means. What do we think it means? It's got to be Michael Saylor,
Bitcoin
right?
to that balance sheet, dude.
I agree.
It's $5 billion in cash.
Those are people sitting on a lot of cash. I think that's going to be GameStop's next play, is to follow the MicroStrategy playbook. It's worked for them really well. They've got that hype, memeable marketing behind them. Obviously, people aren't investing in GameStop for their storefront business model. I think we will see GameStop going hard into Bitcoin with their treasury.
This guy will, the guy in the middle, he will sweat the hell out of you just on a phone case. Like, oh, no, I can't do it. You're like, God, why is this guy like beating me over the head? I just wanted to buy this phone case. All right, this is the other huge news on Ethereum. Major news for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Nobody else is talking about this. This is potentially the biggest news I've seen in weeks, if not months. Sanctioned Russia is now turning to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether for global oil trade with China and India. You maybe heard of China and India. What are we looking at? About 3 billion people, about half the globe. So Russia is selling, and meanwhile, they're one of the biggest sellers of oil. So one of the largest sellers of oil is selling to about half the world their oil in Bitcoin, ETH, and Tether. This is major news. So Russia's using crypto to bypass Western sanctions, according to Reuters, and they turned to these 3 tokens for its oil trade with those 2 countries. And meanwhile, Russia is embracing crypto with 2 distinct changes. The first law, fully legalized crypto mining in Russia. If you have a lot of what, you should do crypto mining?
Of excess
Money.
energy.
Oh.
Energy, excess energy. Both right, though. Second law. The second effective change here, Bank of Russia to oversee cross-border settlements and exchange trading in digital currencies. So now the Bank of Russia is going to oversee the exchange trading in digital currencies. Why would the Bank of Russia take a renewed interest in digital currencies? Maybe it has something to do with their version of their treasury department. Maybe they're starting to bypass a lot of these Western sanctions and they're turning to Bitcoin, they're turning to Ethereum. And that leads us into this. The whales accumulating Bitcoin in the last month and the whales accumulating ETH in the last month. Look at that ETH balance of the whales skyrocketing as we speak. And if we look at the Bitcoin exchange balance, it's the 30-day change, this blue line, also skyrocketing. Why would they buy a bunch of Ether? Maybe they're spinning up their own node so they can kind of maybe have some privatized transactions There's a lot of things you could do once you start running your own nodes and start running your own system. Just as Solana. Yeah, I said it. You just got DZ'd Solana. So major news out of Russia. What are y'all's who's thoughts right here? Am I blowing this up into something maybe more than it is? Or is this some of the biggest news we've seen in a long time?
I think it's exactly what you laid out here. I mean, I'm pulling this up. I'll probably be on some watch list now for pulling up this Russian website. But
Zelensky, don't come after us.
Yeah, Zelensky, chill, man. Chill, bro.
Don't put us on the list as
unlike
Alex
you, I
Jones's
actually
researchers.
got NATO in my territory. No, anyways, this is BitRiver here. I know he's going to smack his head. BitRiver is one of the largest Bitcoin miners in the world here. They actually use a lot of sheer Do you hear robot dogs? But yeah, no, I think they've been doing it for this year. I think Russia, especially their oligarchs, are some of the largest Bitcoin holders in the world. And I think they've been doing this for a very long minute now, like multiple
100%.
years.
Yep.
And it's now it's a matter of time. It's not that like the other thing too, like people don't like this, but that Trump and like Putin have had a good negotiation talk apparently this morning here. They're another step closer to potentially ending that war. You had NATO, and we know it went well because right afterwards, the NATO chief came out and said Ukraine is not going to be entering NATO. And that is something they've been trying to get him to say to do the entire Biden administration. And so whatever came out of that phone call this morning, we know is going to probably have a pretty, whether you want to think it's positive or negative, it's going to result in the end, or at least a ceasefire of that territory and war in that region. Which means one thing and one thing only. I think you're going to see Russian trade routes start opening up again. Because they don't want to be sanctioned anymore. That was the threat that we were putting on them in terms of the financial threshold. So if that starts lifting and they now can access an already vibrant economy and ecosystem that they've been developing for years and years, and Russia, you guys may not know this, has one of the cheapest sources of energy on the planet. Plus they're have insanely cold regions that make it perfect for Bitcoin miners like BitRiver here. They're going to be a very dominant player in terms of the Bitcoin mempool and transaction system. So I think DZ hit on the nail. I think that the fact that they're going to be starting to pick up these, they want their own private chains, their own private systems, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I've got actually a working theory here on what the United States is doing when it comes to this stuff, because I think people really underestimate how much thought the US has put into this Bitcoin strategic reserve, into what they're doing with Bitcoin. I've been saying this for a little while now, but I really believe that this Greenland deal is set up for us to become dominant in Bitcoin mining. Is Greenland good for Bitcoin mining? Yes, it has the potential to be a good location for Bitcoin mining due to its abundant and cheap energy sources. Some results suggest that purchasing Greenland could give the United States an opportunity to mine in a more favorable condition. I think this is a big part of what they're doing. So just wanted to throw that out there. Also, we've got this super chat here from Stevo. What percentage of DG's wardrobe is black? And also send him a DM. He wants that wedding invite.
I just DM'd you, Stevo, and 100%. No, it's not 100%. But I was actually thinking about my wardrobe this morning, strangely enough, how I want to just make everything the same. I don't like wasting brain power on deciding what to wear. It's just, it's not a concern of mine. But I don't want to look like a slob, so just keep it all the same. Keep it, then I don't have to think about it.
I'm the
Lex
same
Friedman.
Way. Most of mine is, well, I'll say this. I have a lot of clothes that aren't black, but as far as what I wear, probably 85% of my wardrobe is black. Much easier because decision fatigue is a real thing. So yeah,
it's a real thing. All right. Speaking of decision fatigue, I don't know where to put my RWA chips, everybody, because BlackRock and the Biddle Fund just reached $1 billion in assets under management. They're the first tokenized money market fund to hit this milestone. That's Larry Fink right there, calmly watching a house on the river in Western North Carolina sink into the water. But if we look at the top RWAs by market cap right here, these are the tokens that we have on our radar. And our Chainlink, it's a little DeFi, it's a little RWA, it's a little this, it's a little that. You can even use Chainlink nodes for gaming if you wanted. But then we have more of the traditional RWA picks here. Mantra, Ondo, maybe these are a little, Quant for sure. Some of these a little bit, dubious, is kind of doing a few things. Plume, however. Origin Trail, I know we got a lot of track fans in the chat here. Ravencoin, a coin I mined half a decade ago.
Shout out to Ravencoin. Same here. That was after I mined ETH Classic, Ravencoin. I want to say we went for Wimble at one point, but
I was mining at 7 cents. I actually do remember there. So
yeah.
and it's a penny now. So glad I didn't waste that electricity for too long. Zbeck Velo. Josh, do you have anything on your radar besides Ondo
Of course, DZ Chainlink.
or RWAs? Okay, so you do the Chainlink.
Yeah, I mean, obviously right now, like I would not be participating in any IDO seasons. Like that's just like if you're looking for small caps, be very, very fragile in terms of personally, like I'm 50, 20, 25, but I'm in large caps and blue chips right now until we know the direction of this this trade war is a huge deal. And so I may be very, very optimistic in terms of the outcome of what these are going to do for our economy in 6 months to 12 months from now. But right now, my focus is primarily taking advantage of the swings on Bitcoin and then just accumulate. I have bags packed. I hold Arkham. I hold Sui. I hold, we have a little bit of Plume. I don't have nearly enough Plume. I should have bought way more at 9 cents there. But we have Aerodrome. We have a bag of Aerodrome, Velodrome. Like I'm just looking through the side list here. And it's like I'm solid, dude. We picked up all of 2023. We have huge DeFi bags that literally did like 300Xs. Like we're just sitting on those. So for me right now specifically, like I'm comfortable picking up Bitcoin, my blue chips, and adding to those players that I really think are going to dominate in this sector-based economy, which is that tokenization and RWA realm. So there's really like I'm sure that there's other sectors that are going to absolutely take off there, but that is my sole focus right now, and I'm just going to stay true to that until the macroeconomics really start to shift.
It's great advice. You're not diluting, and this way you can more focus on the fewer coins that you do have, rather than having 27. You don't know what's pumping, you don't know what's dumping, you don't know why. Next thing you know, your portfolio just slowly bleeds and bleeds and bleeds. So
I am tempted
I would
to
say
sell
that's
my
great
gold.
advice.
I will tell you that. I'm tempted to be like, maybe I should sell that and put that in the Bitcoin because I got a decent amount of physical gold.
I don't hate selling gold for Bitcoin. I'm not a fan of selling gold generally, but I don't
just for Bitcoin. But I don't think I will. It's just, dude, looking at it's hard because I mean everything like you guys think from if like physical, like your Rolexes, your physical like gold necklaces that you guys might have, your white gold.
Got the chain on today, DZ? Did you say you had
all
your gold?
of those?
I don't.
Right.
Just the old ring. I don't have the bracelet.
Well, even
that
like
I got for I got for ETH. I got 1 ETH back in like November, October 2021. I traded it for a bracelet.
That turned into a good trade.
the 1 ounce gold bars, I bought those in Costco. Dude, I remember those were like $1,600. And so like those have now, dude, it's like, it's kind of crazy to me that in like the last 3 years, gold has 2x'd. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty freaking insane.
That should tell you something. That should tell you something. That the money printing is out of control. The big money of the world sees it. They're looking for safe haven assets. We've got another, this is breaking, just happened a few minutes ago. I got to move this, add that. We've got here Byron Donalds is introducing a bill to make this.
I led with that.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, my bad. My bad.
Hey, folks, we're just ahead. Yeah. We're just ahead. Yeah.
These from the future.
The bill codifying. I'm from the future.
He just
it looks like I'm from the future. When you check out the gold prices right here, I got in around here, October,
Bitcoin.
November, 1,800 gold, like $3,500 ETH. Now ETH is like $1,800 and gold is pushing 3K. So just interesting seeing how those assets have flip-flopped there. I'm not going to say I knew the future there. I just like gold. I'm Mexican. What do you expect? All right. Pumped out fun meme coins.
There it is.
Meme coins
is inner
self. This came out so naturally. Yeah. My mustache is going to start getting messed in my face there during the stream. So smash that like button if you want to see. I changed like an anamorph right before your eyes.
An anamorph. Wow. That's
dude. I just realized. You guys
I never read any of those.
Yeah.
Are you going straight to honeymoon? Are you going straight honeymoon after the wedding? Because you got, dude, May the 4th be with you, and then Cinco de Mayo. It's just a party.
Yeah, I actually bought some lightsabers and I gave them to Drew's children. I wanted, they're too loud. It was like, noise was too loud. It's like, it's gonna mess up the aesthetics of the wedding.
Oh, so now he can't sleep at night. That was a win-win.
He's gonna give it to them tonight, and those batteries will probably be pulled out 2 hours later.
Oh yeah.
We do have some terrible meme coin news, folks. Pumped Out Fun meme coins are dying at record rates, and now less than 1% are surviving. What does survive mean? That is the graduation rate, and that's just a way of a term for the tokens that make it through the incubation phase and become fully tradable on a Solana decentralized exchange. And so pump.fun just dying and dying and dying. You can see the weekly graduation rate just kind of plummeting off a cliff right there. And they're not responding to the positive market signals. The drop in graduation rate reflects waning investor appetite for meme coins, which have developed a reputation as degenerate lottery tickets or quick cash grabs for their creators. I would say between Trump, Portnoy, Hayden Davis, those are three strong nails in a meme coin coffin right there.
Yeah, it's pretty gross out there, dude. It's no one's there's what's even happening to Hayden Davis. I honestly haven't even kept up with that. Is like he finally being prosecuted? I know he's got to be on the run, I would imagine, because Argentina's after him.
Yeah, supposedly the Argentina requested that he be on Interpol's red notice. So
he's got to be on the run.
I doubt he's doing any more press conferences. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's been. I don't know. I hope the worst happens in terms of. I hope he becomes a jail cell with P. Diddy as well. I think they all deserve a little cuddle bunk bed session. But I want it like El Salvador style, where there's just like no pillows. It's just literally grates and grates and grates.
All right, so SBF gets a conjugal from what's her face? What was SBF?
Caroline Ellison.
So Caroline visits SBF for Hayden Davis. We have Javier Milei's sister comes visit. Then that leaves P. Diddy. Who's visiting Diddy? Meek Mill?
Beyonce.
No, that's Jay-Z.
I'm sorry, folks. If y'all know that video, I am so sorry. All right, now looking at memes, speaking of memes, I did want to look at the 7-day chart here. Dog and Me is pumping. A lot of people are pissed off about this one.
Yeah,
that people front ran the Coinbase listing. Oh, yeah, you can definitely see. So they front ran the Coinbase listing by about 24 hours right here. And then I want to say the Coinbase listing wasn't actually right there. It was like deeper into it. So a lot of people are pissed off that this inside information that spread. But when you're buying a token called Dog and Me, don't you expect to be laying down with the dogs and get bit by fleas? So it's just going to happen, folks. Now, looking at the rest of the memes, chat. What meme coins are you a fan of? What money would you say this meme coin is going to defy the trend? I do like Doge. I'm still going to say Pepe can, but I don't know if Pepe's going to flip Shiba Inu. Pepe just got so much thunder stolen from Trump. And so, I kind of had to reassess that evaluation there. Any winner? Snake, obviously. DZ loves Snake. Farcoin, still doing okay. This thing just won't dissipate. What memes are, gun to your head, you had to buy a meme. Which ones are y'all looking at?
For me, it's Trump. You guys know I'm not a big meme coin person, but I think he's got a diehard audience. You want when you're getting into memes, you want cult-like following. You want people that are making decisions not necessarily based on logic. So for me, I choose Trump coin for that reason. I think, I got it, and it also helps that I got it in super cheap. So.
And to clarify, guys, he's saying Trump voters have no logic. That's what
I'm a short Trump. I'm a short Trump live, everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and hit.
No, I think that's a good point. I think it's a good point. I would personally be like, you have Department of Government Efficiency.
Doge. Yeah,
I'm in Doge, dude.
Yeah,
I'm in Doge.
Well,
if you're choosing one meme coin out of all of them, but meme coins are like the slot machine market. So if you guys want to play in those smaller cap meme coins, like, go for it. Just understand that meme coins are literally entirely development. I'm breaking here. Reliant on retail, and so the vape cabal, even Trump, the Trump family, Hayden Davis, they have done a very damaging amount of disservice to the meme coin sector. And with all the insiders, the manipulation, the liquidity extraction, it just. I really believe the meme coin space needs some time to heal. I think a lot of your meme coins are going to do well again one day, but it needs to heal. But unfortunately, I think if the market starts to pump, meme coins are just going to rip again.
Trump is down 85%. Yeah. Has it healed? I mean, is this at the point where it resuscitates?
I don't know if like Trump is the thing to heal either. I just meant like as in, I don't know what the functionality is. Nobody has this answer yet, but in terms of like 100% fair launched meme coins, and maybe that's just never going to be the answer. Maybe.
I shorted Trump live, and let's check in on the trade. Holy shit, everybody. Oh, excuse my language there. Sorry. But yeah, it looks like we got a nice little trade in, and we might hold this open for a little while. I didn't mean to do 25x, but here we are.
I don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not telling anybody to buy any meme coin at all. I don't like meme coins. They're almost all down 90%, 80%, 70, I think your best performing meme coin might be down 78% right now. So meme coins, they're for fun. If you want to have fun with it, if you want to degen out, go for it. I've seen so many people waste a lot of time and energy chasing gains on meme coins. They're very short term, short sighted. If you had $1,000 and you put it into a meme coin, I'm not saying you can't make money. I know plenty of people that turned small amounts of money into very large amounts of money very quickly. But again, that's somewhat of a gamble. You have to know that that's 1 in 1,000 people that actually pull that off. Most of the people you see making money in meme coins, like DZ mentioned, like Joss mentioned, have insider information. They know what's coming before it comes. They get in early and they dump it within 48 hours generally. So if I'm going to hold one for this cycle, that's the one I would have to pick. But I'm not buying anymore. I'm not investing in any. I'm sticking to Bitcoin. I like Chainlink. I like Arrow and things that actually do something. And I think it's going to meme coins. I think as a whole, as a sector, I think they've peaked. I don't think we're going to get another meme coin run that tops what we've seen meme coins do in the past. I think we'll get some pumps. I think we'll get some bounces, but I do not think meme coins are going to be, I think pumped up fun heyday and everything we saw in the last couple of years, that was the overall top for the meme coin sector, my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think there's another U.S. president that's more popular than Donald Trump to launch Memecoin. That was like the most clear, obvious top signal for memes. But it was like, I think that's the point there is, I think what meme coins are going to do now is become in conjunction with just the gambling industry. So I honestly think there should be a gaming committee around it that should be tracking and trying to figure out how can they make this gamified meme experience just fairer for the players. But at the same time, it's like, even if they can't just exist in this decentralized economy, they could just, anything could be spun up and traded. I don't think you can get that to escape human behavior. So I think it's always going to be the subsection now. But I agree with you, TJ. I think that's, I think there's going to be like the blue chip, like Doge and stuff. I don't think there's ever, I mean, we've said this forever. I don't think anything will ever replace Doge. It just like, dude, Doge has a Department of Government Efficiency as the world's richest man supporting it. So it's like, that's your threshold. Everything else now is like, if you guys are going to trade meme coins, which again, I have nothing wrong with. I think if you're integrating memes into your businesses and doing whatever you want, that's fine. Have fun with it. Make this gamified experience, whatever it is. Just know memes are only going to ever do well when markets are like extremely hyped up, extremely bullish. It's just part of that mechanic. So, yeah, I mean, look at Vegas right now. Vegas is a ghost town. It's like people don't have money to spend. And so when people have money to spend, there you go.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with this chat here. Meme coins are the new NFTs. Generally speaking, yes, if you look at the meme coin buyers and sellers, they're the same people that were buying and selling NFTs. They've been put in that same category as collectibles. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you're into collectibles, if you're into flipping sneakers and Pokemon cards and other things that you think you can gain an advantage in, go for it. Just doesn't do it for me.
Doesn't do it for me. We did have chat say Moonwell is ripping right now. It's actually one of the last tokens that I bought. I got in at 1.9 pennies here. So yeah, nice little Moonwell rip here. We're liking seeing that. IAG is also up. It's up about 11%. Let's talk about XRP. Speaking of meme, XRP got major news with the SEC here. SEC reportedly considering classifying XRP as a commodity. Now, this isn't from Eleanor Terrett, but this is from a Fox associate here. So they're reportedly classifying it as a commodity rather than a security. This is according to insiders cited by Charles Gasparino. He's a Fox Business correspondent. The SEC is reevaluating XRP's utility and market behavior to determine if it aligns more with commodities like Ether. One issue that's being weighed is whether XRP continues to trade to have a utility that makes it more like a commodity, not a security. I am told the Ethereum example is key, Charles Gasparino added here. SEC believes ETH trades as a pure commodity. They're trying to determine if the commission can make that case with XRP. So XRP, we wake up on Monday morning, whatever, on a weekday, XRP no longer listed by the SEC as a commodity, or I'm sorry, as a security. It is now a commodity. What are we expecting on the XRP price? I pulled up the chart right here. This is the daily candle. You see, we obviously had a huge run up with Donald Trump's election. God, I just want to measure that. Yeah, XRP, Jesus Christ, it pumped 500% over a month there. Everybody was just in shock and awe as it happened. But now we got ourselves a little triangle forming. I mean, I honestly think, yeah, we're gonna break out of this and then use this trend line as support. Maybe trend a little bit lower if we have a bearish period, but I could see this line being flipped from resistance into support. That would be my prediction here. If we want to just measure it, got a nice little, yeah. That's nothing. That's a
It
pump
won't
for
be.
ants.
Yeah.
I think we
I
get like
also,
a 50%
what was that?
pump.
What was their source? My guess is they're relating that to
Charles
the Bill Hit.
Gasparino, insiders.
Yeah, I think that's complete BS.
I like Gasparino. I remember watching
No,
him
no,
like
no, not
07.
that I don't like him. I think it's coming from the
No,
Bill
you want to
Hinman
fight him in a
conversation.
celebrity boxing.
Well, what I think it's coming from is the insiders of saying that since Bill Hinman classified Ethereum as a commodity back in 2018, there's still a. I don't think that Ethereum's been classified as a commodity. It's a nuanced conversation. Like it's been case by case, and so XRP holders are trying to make the case that they trade the same as Ethereum, but I don't. XRP is a utility token, so it's like. That's where this starts getting like, okay, like I'm okay with having a digital asset stockpile on the Bitcoin strategic reserve because I'm open to a sovereign wealth fund. I think that could be very beneficial to US investors, but we're starting to play with fire if we start just labeling all these cryptocurrencies as a commodity. And that's interesting to me today. But breaking news, Bitcoin just hit 85K. There we go. Back above those levels. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that. I think that that's stemming from the XRP insider conspiracy theories. Like, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, there's circuit like Brad Garlinghouse is sitting on the same side table as Donald Trump. That must mean something. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it just means he's the largest donor. Sometimes I don't think these things mean as much as people like to express it. And I could be wrong, chat. I could be wrong, but and I'm not trying to flood XRP here. I'm saying that I think maybe there should be a new classification of utility coins. And I think XRP is a perfect spearhead in that utility application. But is it a commodity in comparison to like Bitcoin?
And compared to Bitcoin, no. And compared to Ethereum, yes. You did bring up a good point. You know, it's a nuanced rulings on Ethereum, but I think we're trending towards Ethereum as a commodity. And I think even Gensler, had comments on ETH and Bitcoin. And so I think today, 2025, I think we could say the SEC views ETH as a commodity as of now, not so much last year and the year before. But yeah, I would say there's a strong argument for XRP to be listed as a commodity. TJ, you're head in the SEC. What are you ruling?
I would rule it a security if I was ahead in charge
Whoa.
of the SEC.
Throw the tomatoes at him, chat. Throw the tomatoes.
Whoa.
Get him. Get that man.
That's not. Why is that bad? It's not. There's plenty of security.
Pump our bags.
There's plenty of securities out there that perform extremely well. Like there's nothing that says every crypto needs to be a commodity. Like there's, a lot of them are securities, in my opinion. I would put Bitcoin in a commodity. And to be honest, I don't even know if, I would have a hard time even calling Ethereum a commodity on some level. Now, a lot of this, to Josh's point and points you guys already made, this is a lot of political mumbo jumbo, in my opinion. A lot of this is the debate between SEC and CFTC. If you want the CFTC, the Commodities Future Trading Commission, to be the ones regulating this space, that's why they're incentivized to call things a commodity. If you want, the SEC wants control, they're incentivized to call them securities. So I don't really care. It's going to be what it's going to be. And it's not really, in my opinion, going to fundamentally change too much in the long run. I think what they're doing with changing the banking laws and the holding laws and the custody laws, all of that is much more impactful as to the future growth of these projects. And a lot of the rest of this is just political hoops to jump through, and who you need to donate money to, and who you need to get to endorse your product. I like the way that they're doing the digital asset or the Bitcoin reserve and then the digital asset stockpile next to it. I think they will nail down some of these things. And I think, to the point of the nuance, they might come up with new terms. Digital asset, they can function sometimes as securities. They say it can function sometimes as commodities. So I don't think it's just a cut and dry answer. Now, obviously, I haven't built my entire career on studying securities and commodities law. So I'll leave it to those guys to figure it out. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep stacking Bitcoin. I'm going to keep stacking altcoins, and I'm just going to ride the pumps and take the money.
Well, here's the definition in the context of the SEC. Security represents an investment contract or ownership stake in a company or asset. Commodity, again, according to the SEC, a commodity is a basic good or raw material traded for its intrinsic value, such as oil or gold.
Yeah.
So ETH then gets that, well, we're digital oil compared to
No.
Bitcoin's digital gold.
Well,
I know that's just marketing, but they're going to use that line.
and then look up utility coin because that's what I would compare. Because like my thought isn't about like comparing it to even Ethereum, which is like now you got to like realize if XRP, a company that owns Ripple owns 50% of the supply. First and foremost, I'm not comfortable with any company in the world monopolizing having 50% of any commodity. That's fucking
That's not a commodity.
no. that's
Not a commodity.
That's not at all.
What about gold in 19? Never mind. Sorry.
No, so
Well, gold
so
was coming out of the
point-
ground, you know,
yeah,
like
and it still is today. And I think we're gonna mine it off asteroids in the future. But it's you know, and this isn't even a bear or bull case on this. It's just how should it be classified? And so if it shouldn't be a commodity, I don't think it should necessarily be a security because you're not necessarily making an investment contract into a company. Which is what's been debated upon the Howey test for years and years and years with the court. So that's where I think a utility coin, new commission makes sense because then you can, again, XRP is spearheading the rest of the altcoin space as well. So like think of BNB, think of Polkadot, think of Cardano. Like what do they start getting labeled as? If XRP, a company that behind it called Ripple has 50% of the supply, does that make every single altcoin now on the market pretty much justifiably a commodity as well? And that would scare me more than
exactly. It doesn't. It really the logic you can't really apply it all the way down the line. I agree here with Veteran Crypto. I've said you guys have heard me say this in the past. More bullish on Ripple the company than XRP the token. And you know that's betting on the leadership. That's betting on Brad Garlinghouse. That's betting on the position they've put themselves in. And I agree with that 100%. That we've got the Ripple IPO. You know that stock. They probably got a lot of Bitcoin. And this is what you need to ask yourself if you're a buyer is. Ripple was a net seller of XRP. And what did they buy with that? They bought Bitcoin and they bought Ethereum. So to me, I'm looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Hey, they also bought San Francisco Business District real estate, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. You got a lot of feces. You got free needles everywhere. I mean, all the cost saving. You could use the feces to power your building.
I'm not shitting on Ripple. They're a really good company. I think they're positioning themselves.
San Franciscoites do that to the sidewalk.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is it's just a discussion here. But XRP holders will be like, no, they're funding us. It's like no, we're talking about simple classifications, and that's what's been being discussed in court. We are not the lawyers for that. But
you guys ready for another run up?
Yes.
You got all right. Here we go. Trump-backed World Liberty Financial completed a $590 million token sale, and so they've raised $590 between two pre-sales, and so they have another batch of money here. So they have successfully closed it, and so now we don't know for sure where this money is going to flow. But what we can do is look at their wallet on chain. This is World Liberty Financial. Now a lot of it is going to the principal holders of that company. So it's going to be Donald Trump. It's going to be his sons. It's going to be those advisors. Some of that money, we're assuming they're going to probably want to couple this news with some crypto purchases. Now, again, this is an assumption, but this is how I would run World Liberty Fi. You raise $500 million, you better put some of that into the blockchain or people are going to say, what the hell? And so if you look at their number one holding, it is Ethereum. We also have some staked ETH right here. Now, they do have some Tron. It's my speculation they bought that because Justin Sun invested. But they also have Move, and they also have Ondo. But I'm bullish on, I would say, ETH. And all the wrap Bitcoin they buy, also bullish for ETH in an indirect way. And so I would say this could be potential bullish momentum that Ethereum needs as Donald Trump, maybe starts deploying some of this funds. We wake up to Donald Trump buys $100 million worth of Ethereum, probably going to see a pretty good green candle. That's my guess, at least.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do with the $500 million? That's a lot of money.
I think they're going to buy a shit ton more Bitcoin.
More spray tan.
I mean, it gives them a
Teslas.
Huge treasure. I mean, I'm still interested in there's not a lot of information on World Liberty DeFi, so I'm still interested in seeing what really rolls out.
I think a lot of it goes to Barron's Taylor. He probably outgrows a suit every 2 days.
Maybe his college fund. You're looking at, obviously they're doing something with tokenization, so I'm excited to see what they end up doing with it. But maybe they end up buying U.S. digital treasuries, I don't know if they're going to do stable coins. I don't know what their plan is just yet. It'd be good to interview them. We should actually reach out to them.
We do have a noob question here.
That's
What does
actually
wrap
what we should do.
Bitcoin mean? Wrap Bitcoin is Bitcoin that is similar to Tether. So the way Tether works is you have a bank and they say, all right, we got $1. And so we're now going to print $1. We're going to mint $1 on the blockchain. Same thing with wrap Bitcoin. You have this centralized entity. They receive a Bitcoin and then they wrap this Bitcoin and have it represented on the Ethereum blockchain. You can also get wrap Bitcoin on Cardano. You get wrap Bitcoin on Solana. Wrap Bitcoin is kind of like Xerox. They have the WBTC ticker. So a lot of people typically mean, just generally speaking, wrap Bitcoin, but it could also mean the specific protocol, WBTC. And so there you go for a noob answer for your noob question. Now we're about to go into the members stream. Everybody, we got a join button down below. Josh, you want to give the people a preview of what you're working on this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to be actually doing a XRP video, not necessarily a price prediction video, but there will be price predictions within it. But we're breaking down someone that just made a very interesting video on XRP itself and its community. And I think there was a lot of the mishaps there. So we're going to be breaking that down. And then, dude, I got some surprises we're working on right now. So you just got to subscribe, guys. Stay tuned to the channel. We are back full time here. The food poisoning has left the system here. I ordered a ton of white Wonder Bread and milk,
distilled
water, and whatever else you guys can think of that might help my tummy.
We don't know how it works, but the milk's from virgin cows.
I drink.
I don't even know how.
It's from virgins. It's from yeah. Jeez. Yeah. So enjoy your weekend. I don't know.
Sorry to all our Indian viewers. I'm not trying to disrespect the cows. Now I do want to. I'm going to close the Trump short. I don't need to. I need to eat some lunch. I need to research some videos. I don't need to be worrying about this. But we're schlonging right now. And so the link long over 400% now. The Trump scalp short. We're closing that in profit. Watch it keep dumping from there. But I'm going to be fine walking away with some profit. This is L Bank. It's one of my favorite exchanges I've ever used. We got a link down below that can help you start on your. It's dumping. I should have held on. All right, well, folks, I'm going straight to the member stream. I'll see you there shortly.